We're going to talk about Trump's proposed tariff policies. The first half of this video is not going to be a ringing endorsement. However, you have to understand that there's a major but coming. Tariffs aren't good for economies, but don't forget about XYZ. If you just listen to the criticism, you are not getting the whole story. Let's jump right into it. A tariff is a tax that an importer pays to bring a foreign good into the country. Trump's policy is to put a 10 to 20% tariff on all incoming goods and put up to a 100% tariff on specific goods or goods coming from a specific country. The vast majority of the controversy around this policy is who ends up paying for the tariff. Trump has always claimed that foreign countries pay for it, and Harris always refers to it as a national sales tax, implying that consumers pay for it. So who's right? I spent a long time coming up with an example with all sorts of numbers when I realized it was just more confusing. If you really want to understand who ends up paying for tariffs, just Google it. The answer from all of the experts, whether they're conservative or liberal, is universal, which is it's complicated, but consumers end up paying for the vast majority of a tariff. It is as close to a national sales tax as you can get without calling it a national sales tax. And it doesn't even exempt domestic goods. Virtually everything produced in the US has some raw material that comes from outside the US, which will have a tariff on it and will just get passed through to the eventual consumer. I can't believe that Trump doesn't understand this. It's pretty basic economics. He just knows that it'll be unpopular, but believes that the benefits from tariffs outweigh the cost. If you make Chinese steel cost 20% more, then US steel producers will become more profitable and can produce more steel. However, whether you're liberal or conservative, we've long understood the impacts of tariffs like this, and they are a net loss on the economy that is imposing them. Trump put into place tariffs back in 2017, and we have seen no major increase in American manufacturing, and the Treasury Department believes that it's cost us as much as 1% of economic growth in that time, which is a big deal. However, this is where that great big but comes into play. In 2017, Trump put a bunch of tariffs into place, mostly on China, and they were a net loss for our own economy. But Biden didn't get rid of them. In fact, he increased them. So what is going on with that? Now, it turns out there are good reasons to use tariffs, but they're mostly political reasons. The first is to protect vital industries, things like steel production and semiconductors. If we go to war with China, are they going to sell us steel to build submarines with? For the same reason we don't sell China our semiconductors. Similarly, nobody wins a trade war, but you can lose them. And in my opinion, China undeniably lost the trade war that they fought with Trump in the US. Not only did they lose the trade war, but when we pushed back on China, the rest of the world woke up to the fact that China wasn't the big bully that they thought they were, and that they could push back too. Because of this, when the economic problems came to China through COVID and all of their real estate problems since then, the US and Europe and a lot of the rest of the world has been substantially less entangled with China. And because of that, it hasn't affected us as bad. And that's a big deal. So where does this leave us with the proposed policy, the 10 to 20% tariff on all incoming goods? Maybe I should sugarcoat this, but this is an awful policy, and I can't even imagine that the Republicans will allow him to do it, if I even believe that he actually wants to do it. This seems to be something that's just shocking to say, which tends to be Trump's routine when he's on the campaign trail. However, that doesn't mean that we should never use tariffs, or that the tariffs that Trump put in place in 2017 weren't a good idea. In fact, I think they were some of his best policies. If you want to continue this series on the different candidates' tax policies, then I'll put the next video here. Stick around the channel for similar content, and I will talk to you soon.